Hi, good day, good day, good day. How you everybody doing? Welcome to the station's channel, YouTube channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe. The like is free, as they say. Sometimes we like free stuff. Um, Today I'm just gonna do some reenaction to some videos. Some it's basically some podcasts and some YouTube channels that I already subscribe to. I'm gonna do a live reenaction, no edit. YouTube guidelines, of course, and then as you know, with no music. Well, some things you can't do. You could get flagged. So we're gonna do some live action, some live reaction, and see if I can entertain the situation. Like and let me know if you guys like the live. All right, let's get started. All right, so my first one is gonna be the no, not the shop podcast. This guy.
What's good? It's your boy Mac Mall back with another episode of Not the Shop Podcast / Dating.
He have some good shows. He plays some good shows. I do subscribe to his channel and everything. Not the shop podcast. Today he gonna do yeah, he got some sit down with two females. And I'm not gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna do some skipping through and just picking what we wanna reenact to, and we're gonna go from there.
Hey, before we get started with this episode, make sure y'all smash.
Older chick rented y'all a car for prom.
Yeah, cause now my middle daughter, she just turned 18, right? Do you know she told me the other day, because I told her I was gonna buy a car last week, and so I guess she been looking for one or whatever, but she told me that she was embarrassed to get dropped off in an Uber at school.
Embarrassed by what?
She said she was embarrassed that she had to catch an Uber to school. I said, how about a motherfucking CTA bus? Because that's what the fuck
How about walk?
That what I said. How about the bus?
That's kind of, Uber's kind of luxury.
I don't know what
luxury. That's top tier.
I don't know what sets the standards for the kids nowadays. I'm so glad I don't got to be back.
It's ridiculous. Now, mind you, you see the proms. They got Lamborghinis and camels. Helicopters.
I be loving it too.
As you can see, he started off the conversation really light. I'm not gonna really respond to that Uber situation because I think she just spoiled, So let's go forward a little bit.
Now, these are the things that parents got away with then. But then the economy wasn't like it was, though. I don't think money was accessible. I don't know, man. What y'all think about that? Because we accepted a lot of stuff that today, in today's time, would be looked at as a bad parent. Like, for real.
I mean, when you... I guess... It's just the evolution of time, because I remember growing up when Ronald Reagan was the president in the 80s. I remember that, and I remember moving from the projects to our house in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. I remember we always had bunk beds because we had or whatever. Me and my sister with my brother came. We got brand new beds, and my mama bought her some white furniture, and like I remember all these all these things.
I mean, she going on a lot of memories right there. So, back in them days, things was a little different. In terms of privilege, we had privileged kids, but those was some. The privileged kids was the ones that had parents that make good money. You had some parents that didn't make good money. You know what I mean? The most I can say about that is back then things was more creative. That's the way I want to go with. You have to be a little bit more creative back in them days because we didn't have the technology and all this stuff that we have today. We didn't have this convenience that we have today. We had to wash clothes in hand. Most people couldn't even afford a color TV and stuff in the 80s. Even going into the 90s, some people didn't have color TV. Some people didn't had um, certain kind of box TV too. There's certain type of box TV that and then the size, it's a certain size as well. So yeah, everybody was normally trapped. I was in like almost 80 to like 70% of the population. I would say was moving by foot, like in public transportation. So we didn't have no time to be privileged. Most people didn't have time to be privileged. I think it was just more the ones like who make really good money. So the kids today, if you're comparing it to then to now, I don't think you can do that. The kids today is completely different. So I don't think we could compare the kids in the days, the yesteryears, to the now years and the future years. This is different.
Or whatever. But I also, remember, struggles, from my
Yeah, we got
Crazy.
skip. We're gonna skip
we
that.
used to could buy, you could buy them everything. It was it was nice back then. Like, I'm with him now. I ain't back there no more. So if I mean, I would let him know.
Right.
But please don't bring nothing to me that what I'm saying he done said or nothing like that, because I probably would go crazy.
Amazing.
But
How you feel
yeah.
about that?
I mean, like I said, if
Well,
I
he does. He
met
asks
him,
questions. Let me say one more
Okay,
time
well,
too.
yeah.
best friends.
So I wouldn't be uncomfortable going around him or nothing. Like, no.
Amazing.
When I'm done.
I mean, you knew me at 20. He knows me at 40. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a evolved woman since then.
But I mean, it's kind of okay.
I think the question
Stories,
was,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Don't wrong tail out of here.
You know, we up there. So we've been dating for a while. And you probably dated somebody serious when you was 23, 24, you know? And now all of a sudden you're 45, 40, whatever, and you meet somebody and he turns out to be a good guy. And turns out that he's best friends with a nigga that you used to be really into.
He would
long
have to
time
be
ago.
comfortable with that.
So I'm saying, so you wouldn't care.
I
No,
wouldn't care.
I wouldn't.
Fuck.
I mean, give me some sauce on that. Why not?
Why would
Elaborate.
you? Why would you? 20 years ago, I mean, you're not the same person you were 20 years ago.
yeah, I can dig the question. That the question generally is that he asks is that if you dated somebody in the younger years, you was in your first love or whatever the case is, but then y'all split up, and about 10, 20 years later, this person dated is now dating somebody that and I'm not just seeing having a relationship with somebody that you know now or you become best friends with later on in your years, later on in your future years. Would you be upset about it? Would you find it to be some issue? Or because sometimes people have, sometimes people don't fully pass on their past, love or whatever the case is. They might still have like a little attachment there. So seeing them 10 years later, especially if they're doing pretty good, them might just be like, I want to run, double back real quick, turn the corner and see what's going on, you know what I mean? But I mean, you're not with the person no more. My opinion is, if you're not with the person no more, and the end up your friend end up with the person, I mean, let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Let them experience their thing. Don't be a tattletale. I wouldn't get involved and be like, oh well, he does this. No, that's not fair because it's almost when you do that, you almost sense that you probably still have feelings for the person. So just let them do their thing, and matter you. I mean, you could probably mention it, but there's no point to go into a whole long rant about it. So um, with the two ladies though, I mean, age have a lot to do with it. As you get older, you tend to not tolerate a lot of things anymore. But I think if it was a younger girl, she might have been maybe some toxic behavior a little bit, just a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what would they do? Sit around and share stories? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Your grown tail out of here. No, it wouldn't bother me. No, that wouldn't bother me. I
Let's move to the next question.
told her to stop calling you, and
Right.
he
Yeah,
pick
tell.
up the phone and say, "Stop calling me." While she right
Momentarily, though.
there,
That's
and then when you
momentarily.
leave out the house, he'll be like, "I'm sorry, she made me call you. I'm sick of this." And yeah,
Well,
it's
you
all.
stop hanging with her.
No,
Or just
I would hang with her, but our conversations would be different because me and my friends talk about all kind of stuff. I mean, I'd have open, door conversations. I can actually call my friends,
Yeah.
and that I wouldn't be able to talk to my friend about.
Be more immature, childish, and he's probably
and then y'all go out and you be like, damn, y'all friends, like y'all friends, like
So, what you would think that she wouldn't, a woman wouldn't date him?
act. They'll be like, okay, y'all don't care how many women this nigga done been with, long as he picked you.
It
That's
is
how women
women
are,
like
and
that.
and
It
it's
is.
like, and it's like,
But I just don't like how
she'll
you just
she'll
say women.
no, because
Some women.
those are my experiences with women. Like they real life don't care about how many women this man has slept with, as long as she's the favorite. Like as long as when she
Ain't no
calls,
favorite.
it is a favorite. It is a favorite. That's what I'm saying. And women be okay with being the favorite.
No.
Like if
The lady in the pink is the lady in the pink is really masculine, or she might just have a strong jealousy error, like a strong the way her you could tell a lot of pushback, the way she talks, she disagree with everything, even though she knows it's true, because she knows it's true, but she just pushed back a lot in a negative way. Like I don't care, I don't want to hear that. It just don't be like that. So it's almost like a feminist point of view. Not saying she's a feminist, but it's like something that feminist women do. They kind of push back a lot, even though they know it's true, or it can be a disruption to the female nature culture or whatever, but they still deny or ignore that it does happen. So I've been watching a few episodes. I've seen her, and she acts that's the way she is. That's her personality. So once she set her mind to something, she don't care what comes in between. She don't care if truth comes. If it was a lie, she's just gonna stick to what she believes in. That's about it. I think that comes with age as well. When the older you get, sometimes you just get stuck in your ways, and I think that's what her issue is. She's just stuck in her ways,
she
and she
know
don't care
that
about nothing.
he's dealing with her and her three females, right? As long as when she call, he answer, and as long as when she asks for something, she get it. She gonna feel like she's the favorite.
Cause she doing her. She not worried about him. I mean, she
No,
doing the
I ain't
same
saying
thing
that
he's
she's
doing.
worried about him, but I'm saying to the fact that women be okay. They'll accept certain things as long as
Right.
they feel like they're the favorite one. Out of all y'all, I bet I can call him right now. He'll pick up.
Right.
Out of all y'all right now, he'll send me 50 on the cash app.
All right. So the question was, I think what he's talking about a woman having a side chick, and or even having two females, and the man would kind of put one above the other. Or he might like one might have more specialty towards him because she tend to be more you know, uh, accepting to his guidance or whatever the case is. Or she might just be a little bit more, you know, how should say, free minded. Like, like she don't really push back a lot. She kind of just like respect him in that way. While another woman might be like, you know, why you treating her that way? Why you don't treat, because you act more aggressive and do it like, okay, for example, one woman might be a little bit more independent and the other one might be a little bit more dependable. So if the lady that's more independent, you're not gonna give her a lot of not attention but like guidance in a say, because she's gonna be able to handle herself, make the strong decisions, and articulate herself as well as structuralize herself to succeed in things that she want to do and make sure she's straight. A woman who's more dependable, she tends to kind of lean on the man or the people around her a little bit more, just to get the things that she needs. So that's really what the question was really relate to. What a man, when they have a favorite person, you know, um, like they have two, a man have two female. Do women get jealous if the man paying more attention to the other woman more than the wife or the main chick, if that's the case?
Like,
You're right.
you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it be. This is like, I'm saying, like, that's how it be. For real. Out of all y'all, I bet it.
You can see her energy,
Yeah,
man.
I don't
She's
know.
like, I'm not with it.
Okay,
That's
so
interesting.
I'm just saying, that's
No,
how
it
it
is.
be.
It is pick me women. It's women
It
out
is.
there that want to be.
They love the attention.
Call
They
them
they
pick
want
me's.
the man to choose them. They know the man cheating and doing him, and they still be like,
See, I want to say something about that. A woman being a peak me. I don't know why the word. Okay, you got the what they call them, chameleons, that fake pygmies, right? The ones who don't pretend to be pygmies, but they're not. But for a woman to be very who accepting to a man's, wants a man acceptance and love and warmth, and that she just loved the feeling of man being around her and covering her. Like, how has that become a pygmy thing? It's a natural thing for a woman to want that. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very natural thing. Sometimes I feel, and I'm using the word feel. I'm using the word feel because nah, I don't feel, because it doesn't correlate to what I'm really saying. I think that women who don't think that women have the need for men or the desire for men or should have the need and desire for men or feel like they can independently live without men in a sense should get a awakening, how I should say, um, like put them in an island by themselves. Let me put it like that. Put them on an island by themselves and give them 60 days, right? 60 about what, 3 months, right? Give them about 60 days, right? By themselves, they could have a house, you could. I'm not gonna make it too difficult for them, but they're gonna have to work. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to do certain things that are already provided, but they're gonna have to use these things to maintain themselves, right? So, and then let them see how they function without a man's attention, a man's company, a man's guidance. Anything to do with a man perspective. Just let them be by themselves for 60 days. A group of women, let's say a group of 20 women, right? Different shades, heights, whatever, and let them do their thing. And then let's see how that works, right? Let's see if they're gonna be, oh, I don't need a man. We could live without a man. Let's just see how that works. Now let's keep going.
tell her that you don't like her. Tell her to stop calling you. And
Right.
he
Yeah,
pick
tell.
up the phone and say, "Stop calling me." While she
Momentarily,
right there,
though. That's
and when you
momentarily.
leave out the house, he'll be like, "I'm sorry, she made me call you. I'm sick of this." And yeah,
Well,
it's
you
all
ain't really
the
got to say that. She
time.
understand. Because 9 times out of 10, if you got a girl and you got somebody on the side piece already know about your girl. So
Right.
And
as
the
soon
girl
as you
know about
soon,
the
He's right. I mean, why would a man complain? Why would the side piece complain? She already knows she's a side piece. She already know who you are. You might not know who she is, but she know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And and a lot of women know that men might have a woman, but they just don't really want to know. But they kind of have a feeling or know. Um, I really don't think women should even break up with their men just because he might have a side piece. Because especially if he's the one taking the stress to hold everything down, because that's just the level of it. Because it's my nature to be able to have a quantity of of the things that he like. So if he have the ability to maintain and the energy and the strength to do so, then I have nothing against it. But do it in a respectful, way towards the woman, to the women that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only option issue with that. But yeah, women, you know, there's a lot of in denial too when it comes to women knowing that they do might have a psychic, or thinking that the side chick might feel the same way she feel. Because in a man's perspective, I think he's gonna break that down as well. But in a man's perspective, if my woman had a side, if I had a side chick and she had a husband or whatever the case is, I'm not gonna tell this guy anything. I'm not gonna care what she do with this guy, as long as she come to me and boom boom. Because I guess what, I ain't the one taking care of her. I ain't the one giving all my resources or doing. I'm just getting some each. So he got to do all of that. I don't even get her emotional swings. You know what I'm saying? I just get all the good stuff. So he got to deal with all the emotional and everything else and talking about the kid. I ain't got to do none of that. I mean, she might vent to me about certain things, but other than that, it's business. It's back to pleasure. So yeah, it's different for men. Women, if for the guy having a side thing and she's giving her the attention, she's gonna get jealous. She's gonna feel some type of way. I think, yeah, she's gonna feel some type of way. But I want to go to the next one. I think I had enough for that.
Love us unconditionally. Okay, it just is what it is. If I can't provide and protect you and bring something to the table for you, there's no way I'm gonna get your love and respect for a long period of time. You might try me, what you might try broke nigga in there. I'm not doubting it. But what I'm saying is my main job is to protect and provide for my woman. So this is what y'all naturally want, right? So our love is conditional. We understand that. What women don't understand is this: that what you want being protected and provided for comes with a cost. We understand that our love that we receive comes with a cost that I have to pay. I have to be there. It comes with a
So
cost.
the cost
But you
is
don't.
infidelity,
The point I'm trying to make is this:
adultery.
I'm paying for your loyalty. You're not paying for mine. You see what I'm saying? And
I can't see that. Hold on,
yeah.
let me paint this picture.
This one pain. In
Yeah, I
order
need
for
to
you
see
to
that.
live your soft girl era, where you don't have a care in the world,
Okay.
everything you need and want in life, I'm gonna provide it for you without you dropping a dime.
Okay.
Right? That is the price that I'm paying for your loyalty. Okay? As a man, we understand it. So this is why we want y'all to be loyal. Okay? We show our love by protecting and providing. You show your love by being loyal, trustworthy, and respectful.
And what's the cost? What's
I'm
the
telling you, we trading it in. We trading in all these other women that we can have, because if we gotta provide and protect, we can do that for any woman. But we chose you. We can do that for any woman in the world. I can literally go outside and say, "You, I want to take care of you," and she coming.
Yeah, you're
Right?
making a good
So
point right here. What you basically saying is, this is a true point that he made because, as I said, men have access to the relationship, right? While women have access to sex. So the point he's making is this: if a man, well, the narrative is that women seek out men for a lifetime of protection and providing, guidance and all that good stuff, even though they don't really abide by it, but they pick and choose how they want it to go. But that's the narrative that they push, right? I mean, I don't. support that. I'll be honest, I really don't. But that's the narrative that women push. So what he's saying is that if a man was to, the fact that a man got to work, which means working, and depends on how he's working, because some jobs are very, very, very difficult, and it can take your life very quickly or shorten your life to a certain amount of years. So you might not even pass 50. If a man decides to choose you to be his woman, and he's constantly he's saying, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, or you choose not to, but he still supports you, of course. That's the honorable thing. He chooses you regardless of what your situation is. And the thing is, when a man chooses a woman, as the progress grows and her respect goes, and she kept that respect and loyalty to him, the more comfortable, the more confined, the more attached, the more how should I say, now I could say comfortable he's gonna be with her. The more attached she become, the more, he just see us like family. It's like we never gonna be apart. And that could come with many, many different things. That could come with like us, like when you get in relationships, sometimes sex become very lacking. You might go from 3 times a week, 4, 5 times a week to like 1 time a week or twice a week, or then you start going every 2 weeks, and you might not get none for a whole month and all that good stuff. So what I'm saying is, even in that scenario, the man's still gonna hold you down regardless. He's still gonna stand by you because you choose you, and choosing you mean that no matter what your situation is, I'm gonna be loyal to you. I'm gonna try to keep it that way. But even though I'm loyal to you and you're loyal to me, it doesn't mean that my satisfaction is not met elsewhere. I might not get it from you, but you have a higher standard to me than the girl outside of you. The girl outside of you is for fun and entertainment. And I can't get that from you because, whatever the reason is, it is. But men tend to accept, the lack of whatever, and just be like, you know what, I made a decision. I'm gonna keep my word. I'm gonna take care of her. I mean, she's not a she don't do the things she used to do, or she's not 100% this way, that way, blah 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 blah. But I'm still be loyal to her because she still have some good, things about her that makes me feel good. So he gonna keep his loyalty that way. On the flip side of that, the woman don't look at it the same way. She don't say, well, you know what, I've been 10, 20 years now. We don't have 1 or 2 kids. Even though you work more, I don't get to see you a lot as you used to be, or we don't have sex like we used to. But you're not the one turn. The man is not the one rejecting the S. You're the one doing it because she have to be emotionally stimulated. So because she's not emotionally stimulated, meaning that he's working, he probably knows a lot of romantic stuff no more. He don't really go out no more. You know, she's not really feeling the bond to like want to have sex with him. So she is now going to use that as is a disconnect and be like focus on the guy that gives attention elsewhere, because women strive on attention. So for men, we don't generally strive on your attention. We just strive on your existence. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that if we live with you and say I ain't hit it for like a month or two, I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna break up with you. No, we're not gonna do that. Well, I'll probably just go and get a little fun. A woman, and in the same context, it's not the same for the woman, because the man doesn't. That's the what they call it, the double standard. Everything that man does and women do, it's just double standards. Like, because I do it, because I have the capability to do something, that's just my biological. It doesn't mean you have the same capability. Now, if you do it, you're gonna have a negative response to it because it's not your norm. It's not something accepted to your natural behavior. So that's, not to rant too much about it, but that's the point he's making. You know, men men is more technically loyal to the woman regardless of their situation, because he make that decision. Like, once we make the decision, we tend to hold on to that. If the woman is not like too far gone, we would be like, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep her because she's not far. She don't give me a lot of trouble. Yeah, I might not be satisfied 100%, but she's still good to me. You know what I mean? On the flip side, for the woman, if she's not getting the things that she was once getting, or there's lacking, and his lacking might not be negative. His lacking might just be he working more, or whatever the case is. So he's more tired, and he don't really help up in the house as much as he used to. Whatever the case is, she's going to use that as a disconnect and choose to and possibly get entertained by somebody outside. And once the entertainment starts, it's kind of hard to turn it off because once you've been affected, women it's just like it's almost impossible. Some of them wake up from them and be like, no, what am I doing? But most cases they don't. So that's what he was trying to explain.
With me choosing you, I'm showing you that I love you because I chose you out of all the women that I can
Right.
have to take care of.
Right.
Not just to have a baby with and to be in your life and to make you. No, I chose you to take care of for the rest of your life, right? But in what all I want in return is for you to be loyal, be respectful,
And let you
be
keep
loving,
peace.
Right.
and stay in your place. That's it. Because if you stay in your place
Which
as a
is
woman,
equipped.
See, and that's what I was saying. Something when women stuck in their mindset is never gonna change. As we know, you know, once a kid, like children, for example, once they learn something at a young age, it can shape their whole life going forward. And the issue is this. This is the issue for everybody. Doesn't even matter, and it doesn't even matter the age, right? Once you once you see something, like for example, say there's a color you never seen, right? So you never seen the color blue, just hypothetical, but then you've seen the color blue. Somebody told you this is the color blue. 10 years from now, you're not gonna be like, I never seen the color blue. You're gonna be like, I've seen the color blue. 10 years from now, and 10 years from now, somebody's gonna say, oh yeah, man, that's not blue. That's I should say that's like ocean color. It's like a green color. It's just dark. It's just really dark, so it look blue. Or it's like deep in the ocean. Like you have like a hollow darkness, so you look kind of blue from the distortion of the colors, kind of shaded to look blue. So no matter what the person say, you only know of blue. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna be like, yeah, it could be green, but I still see blue. Cause that's just your mind is stuck to what you know, until you know something else. Now the ignorance to it is this: even though the person said, nah, it's actually green, it just look blue due to the discoloration of the depths of the ocean and the kind of the light and all these collagen and whatever, it shaded the color of the ocean. Or you could give it a shade of to make it look a certain way. So it's just like, and then they'll be like, now the response should that should be like, okay, I mean that can I didn't know that. I just learned something. But in most cases, the stubbornness is not gonna do that. They're gonna be like, no, it's blue, and that's the issue with a lot of older women today. This is why the younger females or the younger generation, I would say, is more understanding and accepting to the future because they're learning it. They don't know about it. Like he's speaking of like polygamy. He's speaking about this is why side chicks is more popular today than it was before. You know what I'm saying? So because the younger generation have learned that being a side chick is not bad, so they're now gonna be like, shit, I could do it. Even though they might want to do it, they might do it sometimes. Da, da, da. The bottom line is they know it's acceptable. They know it's possible. They know there's an option for it, right? So that's the issue. Now, if you never know the opposite, if you've been told this bad, this bad, this bad, then yeah, you're not gonna wanna push with it.
To let
Hold
you
on.
cheat in peace.
It's not letting me cheat. What it is staying in your place because it's not that, Robin. Because
All
I'm
right, so
not
I'm gonna
asking you to
end it
play
here
boo boo
because
the fool. That's not
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I mean,
What I'm
So like I said, he has some good shows. If you guys wanna follow him, you could check out the his podcast, not the shop podcast. He do have some good conversations and so forth. So I want to see if I could find another video. Let's see. Let's see.
Take it out. What the fuck? Nos gustan los pies a nosotros. Mira, pisando estamos.
Oh, these are cops.
Yeah, let's make feel better. All right.
Wow. I'm not even gonna go too far.
Here
with
are
this.
disturbing moments
We
when
already
creepy
seen
cops.
as we can see, some. You can sum up. Yeah. Okay. Of course, the pedestrians, gonna take advantage. If it's a male cop, she don't want to get a ticket. She don't want to go to jail. Most likely, she probably have DUI, whatever. She's gonna take, she knows sex, couldn't manipulate men or whatever the case is. So she's gonna use it. She's gonna use it to get away. But it's not. It doesn't work all the time. It doesn't work all the time. So sometimes the cops might just be innocent. He just fall for the play. Honestly, I don't. Females might use this, the sexual, their sexual seduction as a weapon. They use it as a weapon, and they know men fall for it all the time. And I know it's a natural thing, and sometimes you can't blame the person to just be who they are, and the opposite fall for the woman or whatever the case is. But to me, I think if the woman knows she's deliberately doing it, and the man is like, especially if he's already trying to reject or resist, but she's still pushing the agenda, to me that's not right. You know what I mean? I think it's not right for a woman to do that. So these are some of the videos that I do go through. Let me see. I want to go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I like this guy.
Love is a funny thing. The romance stuff and infatuation, none of that is love. It never was love. Mm-hmm. Love comes 15, 20, 25 years into a relationship with somebody. And how do you get to that point where there's real intimacy and real love if one person's falling over the other all the time? All it does is build resentment and entitlement.
Also, I'm going to do some reenactment to some of his questions that he asked. He do like street questioning and stuff like that.
Who do you think is more romantic, men or women, and why?
Well, yeah, he asked some really good questions, So the way how he does it is very, it's very smart and articulate as well. So I appreciate the thing that he does. This guy should be supported for the work that he does, because he exposed a lot of things that we don't really talk about, or the double standards and the unfairness about a lot of things on both sides, especially in the point of feminism. Let's go with the first question.
And because we just think better.
This is his first question.
Because we romanticize our whole.
Who do you think is more romantic, men or women, and why?
Women, because we just think better.
Because we romanticize our whole lives.
I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic sometimes because I come up with so many scenarios in my head about like what I want to do with my partner or like all the fun things and all the cute things, just everything in between.
Why are most romantic songs written by men about women?
That's actually a really good question. I think maybe because they feel like they fantasize a lot. Because men are horny and sexual. They sexualize everything.
What's the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman?
So see, the thing is, sometimes when you're talking to females, it's almost like they don't pay attention to the question. The question was, who's more hopelessly romantic, the man or woman? And then they all said, at first they all said women, but then once the question was returned to say, then if women are more romantic, then why do men go so far as being the most popular or the most common of doing romantic things for the woman versus the woman doing it for the man? So, like she said, she think about all these things, but does she do it? You know what I'm saying? So that's the point. The eureka should have been like, you know what? Yeah, I think men are more romantic because men are put more pressure. They don't want to have to get our attention, so they will do more romantic things, or basically try to read my mind, or she might, and be romantic about it because it makes me feel good towards that guy who did it to me. So I think men are more romantic, but women don't think like that. But that's the eureka they should have. They should automatically just be like, you know what? Yeah, men are more romantic, to be honest. We think about it. We like it when it happens to us. Speaking in terms of a female, but do we act it out? How often do we act it out? No, they don't. Not as much as the men do.
Think about her in every possible way. Effort, yeah, just communication, I guess.
What's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
The same thing. Reciprocate all energy.
What does it mean to be romantic?
Reciprocate energy. Be thoughtful in planning things that show that you love them. I think it means to show your love, care, affection, and consideration for somebody materialistically, emotionally, and mentally.
Why is a woman's love more likely something that needs to be earned through courtship than a man's love? Why did society set things up that way?
Because women are the prize.
If men have to prove their worth to the female, how is romance not just female worship?
It is, I guess.
You see what I'm talking about? The way how he asks these questions is like it's like he going to dungeon, and he just like, how they say King James was locked up, and he got locked up in jail, and then that's how he ended up writing the whole, you know, um, demonology book and all that stuff. It's almost like that's what this dude does. Like he go in the dungeon, lock himself away, and just get his mind to go into the most like geniustic way of putting words together. And I'm not saying it can't be done by anybody else, but he's the one that how should you say fearlessly talk to people randomly about it, and not just that, post it on a live social media as well too. So, and based on the question he just asked her as well, it's the same thing. Do the if men the ones seeking out women to do romantic things or to be the most creative guy just to get the woman's attention or try to get with her, try to seduce her. I mean, well, seduce is is another word. Pursue her versus the woman doing it, then you gotta like really like why the woman feel like they're the process, they're the top of the line type thing, so
Because women are better than men and they don't need to earn anything. Men need to earn everything.
Why do you think men don't reject the romantic model?
Because they want to do it, but they will only do it for the women they want to do it for.
I think it's the other way around. I think a man's love needs to be earned. That's why women have to wait for a man to get on one knee and say that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We have to earn a man's love, and we have to be picked. That's why we don't get on one knee. Men get on one knee.
See, she gave the right answer. Men are the one that's more depressed because women want us more than I mean, we want them too, of course, but they seek us more for based on the attention to the commitment point of it. Because we don't have to commit or give them the attention. We could just do what we want to do and keep it moving. We don't have to stick. It's almost like the way how men are built. We would only mess with women because they have something that we want, basically. If it wasn't that they have something that we want, we wouldn't mess with them at all. But women seek out almost everything from us, whether it's attention, protection, guidance, money. The company it doesn't, they seek out more from us, sex. You know what I'm saying? Than we seek out them. We that's yeah. They seek out more from us versus we seek them out. So men are the prize because we're the one dying for y'all. Y'all don't die for us.
Men should masturbate to fill their sexual needs. Why don't women read romance novels to fill their romantic needs?
A lot of times women do, but like I said, a woman shouldn't have to do anything. A woman should be
She's a feminist.
attended to, like, without saying.
I feel like it's different. Lust and romance don't always go hand in hand, and they don't always correlate. I think men tend to be more lustful while women search for romance. And I feel like they're filled in different ways that a book can't compared to a man with lust.
Why should men have any obligations to fill women's emotional needs if women don't feel any obligation to fill men's physical needs?
Because once again, who is a man? Nobody.
What?
Why is Valentine's Day and also weddings typically more about pleasing the woman than celebrating the couple?
Because that's just how the world made it.
Why are there more traditions to celebrate women, and would that make sense if we're living in a patriarchy?
So, and you know what? Too, this is why I go back to nature. This is why I say nature is the way that people should. It's like almost humans forget that we come from a naturalistic point of view. Like we part of this planet. Like we're not separated from it. It's not like we came here in a spaceship and then well, we don't know. But what we do know, whatever is on this planet, the air, the food, the water, you know, the everything that works in tandem to keep it circulating. Without these things we dead. It's not like we could just go back out in space and survive. That's not how we work. And obviously we don't know if we came from another planet. We can't find the spaceship that we came on. You know what I'm saying? So like why can't we have so gone so far from naturally knowing who we are as humans that we talking delusional. And then the nurturing is so far deep and so gone that even if you tell people today, like, yo, the media or the nurturing concept of what y'all do today is the most horriblest thing you can actually think of. That's not how nature works for human beings. You should honor the man. Women should seek out the men actually. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying the men don't pursue women, but I'm just saying women should have the ability to seek out the man she want because they need us to protect them. You know what I'm saying?
Because women are the prize. Because if it wasn't for a woman, there wouldn't be any men on this earth. So we should be celebrating women every day.
Yeah, that was a dumb thing to say because that was not a smart thing to say. Let me be more correct. That was not a smart thing to say because we give the seed for you to get pregnated from the seed for the sperm to go into the egg for it to, formulate a male or female child. So without the males, you could not have kids to, as you said, bring men into the world. So that's like, that just didn't make no sense.
But doesn't it take men to also produce more women?
But doesn't it take a woman first? You can get an IVF without a man and still have a baby. You can't be a man and do that. You can only be a woman.
Wow.
How is romance not just fueled by Hollywood propaganda teaching men to simp for women?
It is. Because honestly, nobody can force you to do anything unless you're just stupid and are easily influenced. Men are 100%, willing to do whatever they want to do. So if they choose to treat a woman a certain type of way and it just so happens to come off as simpy, that's all on their own accord. Nobody's influencing anybody, not even Hollywood propaganda.
How can chivalry be dead? Romance is still the cultural standard for men and women falling in love.
Chivalry is dead. So
You believe chivalry is dead?
yeah.
I ain't
But
gonna
how
do too
could it be
much more
dead
of
if
this.
that's the culture?
It's just like, oh man. Sometimes some women do get it, but they're still gonna do what they do. But some women don't, and no matter what you say to them, they're just not gonna care because they're so into what they're doing and they're benefiting from what they're doing. They don't care how anybody else feel or how you can change it to be positive or so it can be a better outcome. Because their satisfaction is what's the now, right? So and you know, damn, it's so tough, man, because like it's almost like if you see something not working, why keep doing it, right? But then you complain that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? If you see, if you did this study, or if you notice that the correct way to get something done because you have done it wrong for so long, and then you finally realize like, okay, I finally got it right, and it's worked. Why would you go and do it wrong again? You know what I mean? And to me, that's how a lot of women operate. Based on like what she like, it's like as you can see, no matter how positive the questions are, they put a negative on top of it no matter what. And even though they realize what they said didn't make no sense or it just sound bogus, they're gonna just be like, well, that's the way it is. No, that's not what it is. You're supposed to change it so we can get better results. That's how they're supposed to be. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Like, share, subscribe. Let me go. What you guys think? Leave a message. Until the next one. Until the next one.